Let's make our own Fortnite concept skin. Alright, this is gonna be a quick video. I'm gonna tell you how to combine already existing Fortnite skins into your own concept using Blender. Okay, the first thing you should know is how to import skins from Fortnite into Blender. For the sake of keeping this video short, I'm not gonna explain to you right now how to import skins out of Fortnite into Blender, but there are a lot of videos on YouTube on how to do it. I recommend watching a rather new one, because the old ones might not work. Now that you know where and how to get Fortnite skins, you should think of what you want the Fortnite concept to look like. It's always good to put your idea on paper. Maybe sketch it first or write down what's special about them to you. That step isn't necessary, of course, but it really helps you visualize the idea. Now you can start picking out skins to combine. I can really recommend downloading this little program called PureRef. This allows you to drag pictures into a big canvas, where you can move around and keep the original resolution of the images. It is free, but you can also tip the creator a little bit of money. Or a lot, you know, it's a pretty awesome program. For this tutorial, I'm gonna try to keep everything a little bit short. So I'll just grab a few meshes being the 3D shapes that make up, well, the model, and combine them together to make something entirely random. So I didn't visualize or put down my concept on paper, which is what I just told you to do. Anyway, let's begin. As you just saw already, I have this little website here. It's called Pro Game Guides, and on here you can find every single skin in the game. I already picked out a few skins to combine, and I want to loosely base my concept around this concept from the survey. You could go the extra mile and just completely make it as it looks in the survey, but that's a little more difficult and you'll need a few more tutorials for that. So let's move this out of the way, and now I'll start importing a few of my meshes. Alrighty, we have our characters, or at least everything I needed. So basically what we want to do now is I want the pants, Sloane's her pants. I want this model's arms and legs, and this model's upper body. Until this part, I want to replace the hands with these hands, and this is going to be the head, and then I think I'll maybe use his hair. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, so what we'll do first is, you might have seen already that this model doesn't really have the same starting pose as this model. That's because it's a rather old model. So basically what we want to do to fix that is to drag it over, or just press Ctrl-G, and make it so that it has the same pose. So what we want to do is, you can press Ctrl-Tab, or just go into pose mode. It's just these bones, which will rotate into right there, I think. Yeah, and I think, I don't know if we can mirror that. No, we can't. Okay, so basically what we have to do is rotate it in there. So that's -20. Let's try to do that again. So R -20.3. Yeah, that seems about right. Okay, then we'll do that for this one, except then it's going to be R 20.3, because these bones are basically inverted. Now what you want to do is basically, let's hide Sloane for a bit. So what you want to do is go in here, duplicate the armature, and then apply the first one. Okay, so after you've applied the first one, you will go back into the armature, Ctrl-Tab, and press Ctrl-A, and then apply as rest pose. And now it fits the other models. Yeah, okay, let's see. So for this body, I want only her upper body. So we'll select her upper body by pressing L when hovering over the parts you want to select, or you can just select the vertex and press Ctrl-L, and then it will select the whole thing. But I'll just keep pressing L for now to make it a bit quicker. Let's see if we have everything, and it appears we don't. Grab this one as well, and now we do. And we're going to invert our selection, so we're basically going to press Control and then I and delete it. There we go, because we don't need it. And then we will go in here and unhide Sloane. We can delete her hair because we're not gonna use it, and pull her right over, or just press Alt-G, and let's see where. Okay, that matches up pretty well. Yeah, okay. Oh, so now we can see, now we can just kind of look where we have to delete Sloane, her body. There's probably not gonna be a chance I can just Ctrl-L. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now we have this, and we are going to invert that selection again and delete the rest. Look at that. Wow, it's all coming together. Now we're going to move this over like that, and that seems to be working rather good. Now we will unhide our bandage ninja, and oh no, wait, first we'll delete these arms. And as you can see, we can't delete those arms immediately with pressing L, so we'll just press C to get the selection tool, and then drag and drag, right click by the way to go out of it, and drag, and then we can select this mode and then make it a bit bigger and drag. That way it goes across the whole thing. You don't have to turn around it anymore. I just did that, so we have exactly the arm selected. Yeah. And we'll select this arm or hand and delete it. But first we're going in here like that, and then the rest of the hand. There we go. Delete it, not vertices. Because if you delete the vertices here, it's gonna delete it on this part and of the sleeve as well, and we don't want that, so we delete the faces instead. Now we're going back into object mode. We get ourselves our bandage ninja back. Let's see, and we'll just grab, or we'll hide this body part first, and then I think if we just grab this part, it's going to work out fine. Oh wait, first of all, we need to delete a lot of these. No, we need to delete loose parts, so we'll do that. Oh, there's more of them, so we will delete those. And then let's see, okay, let's hide Sloan for a bit. There we go. And I'll delete this part. There we go. You know what, we can actually the better way to do this is just to select the parts we're not going to delete, and then select that, and then go in here, those, and then I believe up to there was about right to preserve. Then we're going here, we're going to keep all of that, probably delete this later, and up till there we're going to keep it. And now just again Control I to invert it and delete this with faces. Look at it. Wowzers. Wow. Anyway, in the concept art, this part is going to be a bit bigger, the end of the sleeve. So I'll do that as well. First, let's see if we can delete these without it looking weird. That looks pretty weird if we delete that. Does it look weird if we delete these? No, it doesn't. Okay. So we'll delete those. We don't need them. And then we'll scale these up. Now, a very handy trick is to just select all of it, everything, and go to phase, and then tries to quads, or just select click tries to quads, and then go in here and compare UVs. Now basically what that does is you could see all these triangles here before. Yeah, that's a bunch of geometry we do not need. I think that's something that has something to do with it being better in game, but it's not better in our 3D programs. So there are a few shading errors that are happening when you do that, but it's not a lot. As you can see, it kind of right there or there, but like there's almost no difference. So I'll just keep it that way. And that way we can alt click one of these things and it will select the whole loop. You can't really do that with this. If you see, I can alt click this and that, and it doesn't work. So we will keep that quads. Yeah. Oh wait, we have to make everything quads, and otherwise it's really going to look weird. There we go. And also what allows us to do that then is hopefully, yeah, there we go. We can turn on this X symbol, which will let us symmetrize or mirror our shit. Yeah. So now you press O and you will see that this thing turned on, and that basically makes it so we can scale shit on on a very big level, or just it smoothens out the scaling you do. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so basically it's too big now, how much of it you scale. So I want to scale this part up. So what you want to do is press S and then or G and then scroll up, and you'll see this little circle kind of implies where you are going to scale. And then let's scale it up a bit. And then this part we are going to scale up as well. There we go. And you can see that's all happening right here as well, because we have that symmetry thing. Okay, now it's looking like it's all coming together. And before we get into photoshopping the texture, so basically making everything look like it fits each other, yeah, it matches each other, we're going to make the character move. Yeah. So basically what we have now is a lot of meshes, as you can see, separate meshes, and these meshes move with only one armature. So basically what we want to do is join these armatures into one. So let's pick one base armature which we like. I like the Future Biker as our main armature. So what we're gonna do is select every armature except for the Future Biker armature, and then lastly we're going to select the Future Biker armature and press Ctrl J. As you can see, that moves the whole body now. Then we're gonna do the same thing for the meshes. So basically you select all of these and then select the Future Biker one. We picked this Future Biker one lastly, so we're gonna pick all of these. So, and then the last one's going to be the Future Biker, and press this time again Ctrl J. And now, as you can see, if we move in here and select the upper arm, there we go, the whole thing moves with it. And what we can do now is going to be a very lengthy process, and it's not going to be fun, but you'll have to do it to clean this up a bit. Hello! As you can see, there's a lot of these roots, right? We only want one of them. So you press Shift G, and then suffix, and then delete all of them. And then again, for root 2, suffix, delete. Now this is gonna be less for... You're gonna have less roots if you have less models you combined, and therefore you would have to parent less things to other things. As you can see, we have a lot of these bones doing nothing now, but at least we have one single core bone, so we don't have 5 upper arms now. So what we want to do is kind of look at where these are at. All of these bones I want parented to the head, so I am going in here and then select the head, and press Ctrl P, keep offset. Then let's see, where are these all located? That's right there. I'll keep them parented to the spine 1. And then just continue doing that for every bone. Just kind of parent it to where it makes sense to parent them to, which is most of the time closest to the nearest core bone. And with core bones, I mean the lower arm, the upper arm, the clavicles, every spine bone, the thighs, the lower leg, calf? Yeah, calves, the hands, bones like that. Okay, so let's parent it. Face attached to the head. Now you can see these hair bones here. What you can do is go in pose mode and check if these have any weight parented to them. So that basically means if these bones even control anything. And as you can see, they don't. So that means we deleted the mesh of which these bones are the controls for. So what we can do is just select all of these in pose mode and go back in edit mode and just delete them. The same thing counts for most of these bones in the head. Let's see. Let's try and select these bones right here and see if these have any weight. And it looks like they absolutely don't have any weight parented to them. So we'll delete them. These don't either. So let's see which ones do have weight parented to them, which is going to be those. That one has weight. I think every brown bone in this area is going to have not have weight. So we will select all of those, move them around, check if there's any weight parented to them. No, there is not. So we will delete those as well. Now it doesn't seem like the face attach is doing anything, so we will delete that as well. And then let's see what these do. Also delete. Let's finish the rest of the unparented bones. Let's see, do these do anything? No. So we can delete them. Let's see, skirt master. I don't think we have a skirt, so we can probably delete these. Wow, we can delete a lot of those. So basically, whoop, and then delete them. Then waist ribbon. I think we can delete those as well. Yeah, we can delete them. These we can probably delete as well. Yep, this one's gonna be okay to delete. Wow, that's a lot of bones. We can just obliterate, select all of them, edit mode. Oh, edit mode, delete them. Let's see if there's anything wrong yet. Does not look like it. No, seems to be working fine. All right. Yeah. Okay, we deleted the bandage, so we can delete that as well. And that seems to be mostly it. That's a huge difference. Now, as I mentioned before, we are going to make the textures match a bit better. So what we want to do is open Photoshop and then go ahead and open the textures you want to edit. There it is. Now let's see, what do I want different here? I think I want those bandages to be wider, and I want to remove this logo, and I want this color to be a bit wider instead of this pinkish color we have here. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Let's first delete our logo, fill, content aware. There we go. Look at that, gone it is. And before we go any further, I do want to check if there's no normals attached to it. And it looks like there are normals attached to it. So we're gonna remove those as well, because otherwise we're still going to see the logo, just not colored. So we're gonna place that one on there as well. As you can see, that's also still there. So we're gonna unrasterize it, or rasterize it. There we go. And here we want to only delete this edge. So with normal maps, you're gonna have to be a little bit more careful, because if you mess this up, it's gonna look very weird. So we only want to remove the circular bar, not the middle. There we go. Fill, content aware. Looks good enough to me. Now we're gonna go back in here and we're gonna select everything that is this color and change it to be white. Maybe we'll add a little bit of brightness to that. So we're gonna make it a clipping mask, brightness. There we go. Now another thing. So I mentioned before that I wanted to make this exact part right here. I wanted to make this clip or whatever it is. Wanted to make it white. So we'll go in UV editing and check where that is. Okay, it's right there. Let's go into our future biker body. That's right there. Okay, that means we can go back in here and check this part out and just kind of brush this over with some white. Go. Now I'm gonna lower this brightness because I just saw that it's not that bright. That the rest of the white is not bright. And I'm gonna remove this logo as well. Okay, great. Now we can save these, save as, and we'll just save them in the same place. Just give it a similar name or just something entirely new. I don't care. I'm gonna call it D2. Okay. I'm gonna go in here, save it N2, and I'm gonna save this as S2. There we go. Now we can come in here and change these up to be, let's make this like that, D2, and then as you can see, there's the logo. We don't want that, so that's why we made N2 non-color. And as you can see, it's still there but for that we made S2 non-color. Wow, it's completely gone. And as you can see, the logo on the back is nowhere to be found as well. Now I personally want this to be a bit more metallic and maybe lower the roughness a bit. Now I want to give her red shoes and make these bandages around her limbs a bit wider and make the skin black because her skin is black. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna open up our bandage ninja skin. So as we can see, we're in here now. We are going to select these hands, those parts of the hands, that part, there we go. And we're going to make a mask, which will make the hue saturation, pull down the saturation, pull down the lightness to make it darker, and maybe use a brush with no smoothing please, small brush with not a lot of hardness, and make the mask, paint over it a bit so we don't get those skinny edges, skin-like edges, just like that. You don't really need to do it at the ends there because you don't see that in the model anyway. Okay, so we wanted to make the shoes red or reddish. So let's select the feet, go into UV editing, where is that? And let's grab our bandage ninja. That's right there. Okay, so we will go back in here and make those entirely red. Select that, browser, select that, check again. Okie doke. Why did it select that? I don't want you to select that. Go away, please. Thank you. Anyway, use saturation. We're gonna make this very saturated and very just like that. And then we're going to add another brightness contrast, which will set to red clipping mask, and pull that down because I want kind of red, dark red shoe. Yeah. Now let's unred these bandages. So we're just gonna go, and I would personally, Jesus, I would personally like to make these soles very dark, so we'll go do that as well. Okay, so we're gonna select those. Let's make those white first, and then we'll add a hue saturation, make them almost entirely black. Boom! And then we'll make these bandages a little bit wider. And then we'll save it again and replace this one with the second one. There you go. Look at it. Wowzers. And she got that red boots now. Wow. Okay, here's another tip. If you want to add a custom object that doesn't really have any weight paint being the part that gets moved by the bone you selected, you can copy over the weight paint from the current place you want to add that object to. So say I would want to add a donut shape and I want this donut to be right on her arm. Wow, look, she has a donut. As you can see, it doesn't really move with the arm. Not even if you join these together, it won't move. So basically what you want to do at that point is select this mesh, then select the object you want to parent to the armature, then go into weight paint, then weight, transfer weight by name, and that's basically it. You can also set this to nearest face interpolated, which I like to do sometimes, so that doesn't really look terrible when you move things around. So now what you want to do is grab the object, grab the armature, press Ctrl P, then armature deform. Now, as you can see, it moves with the arm. As you can see, it follows it almost perfectly. Now, if you don't want this to be a separate object, you can just go ahead and join it, and it will do the exact same thing. A problem you can walk into is something like this. You want a head that doesn't really have a neck, at least not without their model, at least not without their body model or mesh. So if you want to combine these two, it's gonna be a little difficult. So what you'll have to do is just import the model or this model's head or neck. There we go. And then what you do is cut it off. So basically cut off the neck where, for example, Joey's head starts. So that's right here. Right about there, and select the rest of the head and then just delete it. Now, as you can see, we're just left with these. A very easy solution would be to just grab a choker, put it right there. So you don't really have to do any other work. Just join these meshes together and you're all good. But that's not how we want to do it. We want to keep the neck open and visible. So what do you do then? In that case, I want to move Joey's head forward a bit, and make sure you do that with the armature. Move it right there, is about right. And then what you want to do, okay, a little bit more back. Okay, now we want to edit this neck a little to match hers. So we'll do some proportional editing to get that looking right. And we will make sure that this neck part stays under Joey's neck part. And this one maybe a little bit up. There we go. Now it matches a little better. And now we're gonna join these meshes together. So boom, boom, join them, then head. Oh no, wait, it's better that. Okay, so now we're gonna join them. Now apply the location of the armature, then select the body, the neck, and the head, and then join them. Then do the same thing for the armor. Join them together. Now you can delete the extra bones. So root 10001. Parent this back, and in case this happens, that the body doesn't move with the bones, you can just go into object mode, select the mesh, shift click the armature, press Ctrl P, and then armature deform. Then it should work fine. Now what you want to do is just kind of stitch everything here together. So let's do that. How you do that is basically by selecting a vertex, then selecting another vertex, and either pressing merge at center or merge at last. I'm gonna press merge at last because I want to. So just do that for the whole neck and you're gonna be all right. Now you can kind of correct a few vertices to make them not weird looking, like that. Maybe pull this a bit backwards a bit. And you might think, oh, all I have to do is change this skin color to that skin color. And you'd be right. So let's drag a little window here. You probably already have that there if you're still working in the default version of Blender. I just like my setup this way. I'm gonna grab the image editor, and then I'm gonna grab Joey's head. Oh, that's her body. I would like her head, please. Thank you. And then the easiest way to do this is basically to just disconnect this color and connect this color. Now you might see that there's still this weird line, and that's right. That's basically because these normals do not match up. So how do we fix that? So basically what you want to do is make an RGB node and color drop this color right here, or better said, this color. Because if you color drop this color, it's gonna look a bit weird because you're in the filmic color space. Right, now you want to make a gradient, or press Ctrl T. Now plug the UV in there and set the Z value to 90. What you want to do now is switch over to viewport shading, then make a new vertex color, go into vertex paint, make sure everything is white first, then maybe go back into viewport shading and start tracing the line you want to disappear. Now go back into viewport, shading, and if you've done that correctly, it should look something like this. Great! Now what you can do is go into the head, add a vertex color node, add a mix node, plug the N texture into one of the mix, plug the N texture in there, and plug the RGB texture in there. Then select the call, or just the color you just made, and plug that into the vector. Then plug the mix into the N, or the normal input. Now do the same thing, so you can copy this, just copy it, and do the same thing for the head, or for the neck. So drag that in there, and drag that in there. Boom! Oh fuck. Okay, don't worry about this line, you can very easily get rid of that by just making the exact same, copying this mix node by pressing Ctrl Shift D. You can fix that by going into Joey's head material and copying this exact mix node by pressing Ctrl Shift D, plugging the D texture into the color 2, and this color you plugged in here. So basically just copy this code and fit it in here. Then plug it into the D. And there you go. A seamless line, almost seamless. To make it more seamless, you can just go ahead and paint it even blacker. Wow. And then use the blur tool. There you go. There's almost no line to be seen. Okay, that's been it. Thanks a lot for watching once again, and I hope to see you in the next one.